think with my son being surrounded with so much depression and suicide, I think that it became too much of a burden for him.
Last week, we told you about a 14-year-old Warren County high school student who took his own life. His dad suspected he might have been bullied.
Since then, he's received an outpouring of testimonials from other students in their battle with bullying at the very same school. News 4's Rebecca Cardenas has the story.
Crying to us, telling us that what has happened to my boy has saved their boy.
A father's grief over his son's death opening a dialogue in McMinnville, Tennessee.
This has drawn our attention away from sorrow, really, and brought a whole different kind of sorrow to us.
John St. Clair started a Facebook page in his son's memory after his 14-year-old Brandon took his own life.
I didn't think maybe 20 or 30 kids would be on there. I'm like, well, maybe they all can just talk about him on this page.
The page attracted more than 800 students and parents in less than a week, most of them with something to get off their chest.
That just randomly message us on there saying that either they knew Brandon or they wish they knew Brandon, and that they're having the same thoughts and that they have in the past.
Thoughts of self-harm and suicide, stories about his son talking others out of taking their own lives.
I personally, by myself, individually, have talked, I think, 7 or 8 kids out of committing suicide in that moment and made them go wake up their parents. I feel that I'm continuing where Brandon maybe left off.
The stories about bullying he reposted anonymously. St. Clair says these stories paint a clearer picture about his son.
The weight of the bullying, and I think the weight of a little bit of a heartache from a girl. And then I think with my son being surrounded with so much depression and suicide, I think that it became too much of a burden for him.
St. Clair committed to picking up where his son left off.
I think we're more proud of him now than we were when he was still with us. But I think we found out what Brandon was supposed to do great now.
What a heartbreaking story. St. Clair added he wants the schools to be held 100% accountable for what these kids are going through. The school releasing this statement saying, in part, others have made very serious and unsupported accusations that the school has turned a blind eye to bullying and other heinous acts.